Cheers, friends!
Hey there.
Welcome to the Carnival Firenze.
A 5-night Mexican Riviera sailing.
Yeah, we're on Carnival's recently refurbished ship, sailing along the Mexican Riviera. It's all about carnival fun, Italian style, on our 5-day Mexican Riviera cruise.
From the food, to the entertainment, to the Italian decor, there's a lot to unpack here. And if you've ever wondered what one of the cheapest rooms on a cruise ship looks like, and if it's worth it, stay tuned because we got you covered. Getting to the port was pretty straightforward. Carnival Cruise Terminal is right next to Queen Mary, so there are tons of signs for that. There is a parking structure here on site. It's $23 a day. Of course, if you're being dropped off, there's a designated zone for ride shares and taxis. Just keep track of your luggage because it looks like it's pretty chaotic there. You can check your bags with any of the porters over the parking garage, and they'll make sure that your luggage gets to your room. Now let's talk about what you need to carry on the ship with you, as you may not see your checked luggage until much later in the afternoon, so be sure to pack your essentials. That means your travel documents, like whatever you used when you booked your cruise. And I can't stress this enough, you need to have the actual documents, not photocopies, not pictures of them, but the actual physical documents. And if you didn't know, you can also bring drinks on board, but you have to carry them on yourself. Carnival allows up to 12 sealed cans or cartons of non-alcoholic drinks per person. 12 ounces or smaller, and for guests 21 and over, one sealed 750 milliliter bottle of wine or champagne. And don't forget your other essentials like your medication, your valuables, and pack a swimsuit if you want to hit the pools right when you get on board before they really get crowded later in the cruise. Your checked bags can take hours before they show up at your room. Now, as for the actual check-in process, once inside the terminal, it's pretty straightforward. Just have your printed boarding pass. If you don't have it printed, ask somebody, and they should have a printer here, but it's always good to have it printed out ahead of time. So have that along with your photo ID ready to go. The lines always look long, but they move pretty fast. And I wouldn't arrive too early. Carnival doesn't really have much of a waiting area. They start letting people in around 9:45 into the actual terminal. We can sit down before we start the boarding process. So there is one Carnival upgrade that we typically splurge for. They're faster to the fun package. We'll break it down for you, and you can decide if it's worth it for your next cruise.
Faster to the fun is like having a VIP pass for your cruise. It gives you perks that save time and add convenience from the moment you arrive at the terminal to the day you disembark.
First off, you get priority check-in. When you arrive at the terminals, there's a special line just for Faster to the Fun guests. A much shorter wait than general boarding, and you're off to starting your vacation that much faster.
Once you're on board, you also get early stateroom access. This means you drop off your carry-ons to your room and start exploring the ship without lugging around your bags.
And speaking of luggage, there's express luggage included. Your checked bags are expedited straight to your room, so you'll be one of the first people to have access to all your stuff again.
You also get a dedicated guest services line and phone number, so if you have questions or need help during the cruise, you don't have to wait in those sometimes long lines.
For dining, you'll have priority reservations for the main dining room and specialty restaurants. Although this does not apply to the Your Time dining option, which is what we typically go with.
When it's time to head ashore at one of the ports, you'll have priority water shuttle boarding, which makes getting to the destination easier and quicker, especially if there's a crowd.
And when the cruise is over, you'll have priority debarkation. Let's let you get off the ship first, so you can enjoy a little land vacation before heading home.
Overall, it's a great option if you want to skip the lines and start your vacation stress-free.
So we had a bit of a surprise when we got on board. Our itinerary had completely changed.
Yeah, our stops got switched around. Ensenada now being our first port and Cabo our second. Plus, our Cabo stop turned into just a morning visit, which meant we had to be back on board by 1:45 in the afternoon.
Carnival did send out an email about it, but if you're like me, you don't check your inbox religiously while you're on vacation. So here's a little word to the wise.
Always check the email leading up to your cruise. And once you're on board, you gotta double check that app for any last minute changes.
Luckily, we didn't pre-book any excursions, but we saw plenty of folks scrambling to adjust their plans. I'm sure if you booked through Carnival, then your excursions were automatically updated, but if you did some personal bookings, then you're on the hook.
Just remember, cruise lines make these changes to help with port congestion or weather, so flexibility is key.
So what makes the Carnival Firenze so unique? This ship is part of Carnival's fun Italian-style experience, blending that classic Carnival energy with an Italian-inspired design. The Carnival Firenze was originally part of Costa Cruises, a sister line to Carnival, and sailed as the Costa Firenze before joining Carnival's fleet in 2024. Carnival gave it a makeover to bring in some of their signature touches while keeping a lot of the Italian flair. And it's not just the Firenze. Carnival has another Italian-inspired ship, the Carnival Venezia, with plans to bring more in the future. Carnival's mission with these ships is to create a unique cruising experience that celebrates the culture and style of Italy while still delivering all the fun and energy of Carnival is known for. It's their way of offering something a little different for travelers who want a mix of culture and adventure. The Carnival Firenze holds about 4,200 passengers with a crew of just about 1,300 to keep things sailing smoothly. There are more than 2,100 staterooms, ranging from budget-friendly interior rooms to really fancy suites that come with a lot of extra perks. At 135,000 tons, the Firenze has a lot to offer. There are 2 pools, 6 hot tubs, and over a dozen dining options. Whether you're craving Italian-inspired cuisine or the Carnival classics, there's a lot to choose from here.
So on this vacation, we chose an interior room. I actually prefer them because I do like to try to sleep in, and the lack of light really helps that.
This is an interior room with a king bed configuration, and it is one of the cheapest on the ship, so we weren't really expecting much. There is enough room to walk around in here, but that's about it. Obviously, there's the bed that takes up most of the room. We got a television set and a few shelves, along with the cabinet that holds the refrigerator.
There's a desk area if you needed to do any work. You could also do makeup there because there's a mirror.
You have 2 nightstands, one on either side of the bed, with their own lights attached to them. The closet space is kind of small. We have one side with a full-size closet, and the other side with some shelves, the safe, and just a couple small drawers. So there is some storage space underneath the bed for your larger checked bags. They've definitely maximized the use of the space here, but there's no like living space here just to kind of hang out and relax.
The room itself, even though it is on the smaller side, it is super comfortable. They did use the space quite nicely. The bed, super comfortable.
We do have 4 decent pillows, and the cover is just a blanket between 2 sheets. Nothing fancy, but it gets the job done.
I enjoyed the room. I enjoyed the decor. I liked the picture of Italy behind me, but I thought it was great.
Now, as far as outlets go, there were plenty in this room, especially if you brought a travel power adapter. We have our European adapters, US adapters, and Chinese, as well as 2 USB outlets. There are 2 USB outlets by the bed, and there's another Chinese adapter by the television. And noise-wise, I think it was pretty quiet, even though we are on the other side of the elevators. You can hear people out in the hallway, but that's about it. So we're actually in a pretty unique configuration. We're in this sideways room behind the elevators and the stairs, where every other room would be more traditional, where you probably have the door that walks into the closet and by the bathroom. You come right into the bedroom area, and our bathroom and closet are off to the side.
The shower, a little on the smaller side. That is not unexpected on a cruise ship. What I did like is that it was doors and not a shower curtain.
Now the bathroom is pretty tight, but it's definitely manageable.
The water, the pressure was good. It stayed hot. It stayed hot the entire time you showered.
There's definitely not a whole lot of counter space in here. They do have these little shelves, and we pretty much filled up all the space in here. They do have a sensor here that does turn on a little night light for you underneath the closet, which makes it really handy. You gotta get up late at night and go to the bathroom and get back into bed. As for cleanliness, it was pretty spotless in here. I didn't think we found anything left over from previous guests. There are a couple minor maintenance issues, like the crown moldings coming out a little bit. There's a broken coat hanger, and initially our sink was having some problems draining, but they did send a maintenance guy here and he fixed it. All in all, for one of the cheapest rooms on the ship, it is definitely clean, it's functional. Now our room turned out to be a pleasant surprise, but not everything on this cruise hit the mark. Just wait till we tell you what happened at one of the Carnival specialty restaurants. All right, let's go see what fun things there are to do on the ship.
Under my people willing to have a good time, we will always have a party. So you are ready for a sailor party?
Now the fun squad is always up to something here.
Did you say your nose? Who said your nose? Who said the nose? Oh, so that's funny. That's funny. Something that smells. I get it. Anybody else? Anything else?
You'll find daily activities like trivia, bingo, even dance classes. So these are great if you're looking for something to do, have some fun, maybe meet some new people. If you're more of a do-it-yourself kind of person, there are plenty of free activities you can explore on your own. We're talking miniature golf, foosball, ping pong. There's even a ropes course if you're feeling adventurous. And for those who just want to take it easy, you can grab a board game or a book from the library and enjoy some downtime. For those looking to stay active, there's also a jogging track, a whole fitness center, and a sports court for basketball, football, dodgeball, and now pickleball. Plus, there's always something happening on the Lido deck, whether it's a dance party or just some live music you can dance to. Make sure to check out the Carnival Hub app for all the daily activities. It's the best way to stay up to date on what's going on. Let's look at the pools and water features on the Carnival Firenze. Whether you're looking to cool off, soak up the sun, or just enjoy the views.
Starting with the main attraction, the Lido pool. It's smack in the middle of the action, right on deck 10. This pool is surrounded by loungers and that stunning courtyard style design, so it feels like you're hanging out in an Italian piazza. It also has a retractable roof, so you get to enjoy it no matter what the weather.
And then there's the Versilia pool at the back of the ship, also on deck 10. This one during our cruise was definitely the party pool for people who wanted to be out enjoying the sun. There are also a couple of hot tubs on either side.
Speaking of hot tubs, there are 6 on board. You'll find them near the pools and even on the Serenity deck, which is adults only. This spot is perfect if you're looking for some peace and quiet away from the family fun zones.
And let's not forget about the WaterWorks park. If you're traveling with kids or just a kid at heart, this is the place to be. There are water slides, splash zones, and plenty of ways to cool off having fun.
If you want to get in some laps, keep in mind the pools are on the smaller side compared to some of the other cruise ships. But what they lack in size, they make up for in atmosphere. They're surrounded by some great spots to grab a drink or a bite while you relax.
And don't worry if you're not a swimmer. There was plenty of seating around the deck, whether you wanted to stretch out in the shade or catch some rays. Just get there early on sea days. Those loungers went fast. Let's talk a little bit about wellness and relaxation here on Carnival Firenze.
If you're looking to treat yourself, head on over to the Cloud9 Spa. They've got everything from massages and facials to body wraps and aromatherapy. It's the ultimate way to unwind after a busy day exploring ports or just soaking in the ship's energy. For those who like to keep moving, the fitness center has all the basics you'll need: cardio machines, weights, even organized fitness classes. It's a great way to burn off those extra cruise calories.
And you can't forget about the adults-only Serenity deck. It's a perfect spot to relax without the hustle and bustle of the pool areas. Think comfy loungers, sea views, and maybe even a quiet moment with a good book.
One of my favorite extras is the Fresh Connection salad bar up in Serenity. It's a lighter dining option where you can grab a healthy bite and enjoy the peaceful vibes.
If you're more into inside relaxation, there are plenty of quiet nooks around the ship where you can kick back. From the library to cozy lounge areas, it was pretty easy to find a spot to recharge. If you're cruising with kids or teens, Carnival Firenze has a few salad options to keep them entertained and give the parents a little breathing room. Camp Ocean is the big one for younger kids. They split into age groups with crafts, games, and even some science stuff. Older kids can check out Circle C and Club O2, basically cool hangout zones with music, games, and events just for them. Now let's talk about one of the best aspects of cruising, the dining.
Starting with the main dining rooms, we've got Michelangelo and Medici restaurant. They serve up classic cruise favorites with a bit of an Italian twist. Think caprese salad, pasta dishes, and even some Indian-inspired options that Carnival does really well. Dinner here is included in your cruise fare, and the service is always friendly.
If you're more into the buffet scene, the Lido Marketplace on Deck 10 is your go-to spot. It's open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, with everything from omelets and bacon in the morning to carving stations and comfort food at night. Just a heads up though, it does get busy during peak times, so plan accordingly. For quick bites, there's Guy's Burger Joint with a fun Italian spin on the menu, Tomodoro for Mexican-Italian fusion tacos and burritos, and Pizzeria del Capitano, which serves up fresh pizzas 24/7. One of the surprise hits on board? The Chicken Shack. And it stays busy through breakfast and lunch, serving up crispy chicken strips in a couple different ways. Il Mercato is a little grab-and-go market where you can pick up hot dogs, meatball sandwiches, and other quick bites when you don't feel like waiting in line. La Strada Grill offers American-Italian fusion, blending classic comfort foods with an Italian flair. Think hearty sandwiches, fresh salads, savory sides, and bold sauces. Perfect for a quick and flavorful bite.
For something a little different, check out the specialty dining options. Il Viaggio is an upscale Italian restaurant with dishes inspired by different regions throughout Italy. And let's not forget Fahrenheit 555.
Bonsai Sushi is a casual yet refined spot serving up fresh, flavorful sushi rolls. And Bonsai Teppanyaki is a lively dining experience where skilled chefs cook up flavorful meals right at your table with flair and fun. The Empanada Bar in the Tuscany Lounge offers a selection of sweet and savory handheld bites, perfect for a quick snack or late night treat.
All right, let's talk gluten-free. Carnival's actually got a pretty solid system going, especially in those main dining rooms. There's a separate gluten-free menu that you could pull up right in the Carnival Hub app. Just swipe right on the regular menu. The options were good, flavorful, and the staff really knew their stuff. One night, they even made me a special gluten-free banana cream pie. Total win. The buffet? Well, it's a buffet, so if you have allergies, you know it's a gamble. Things get dropped, tongs get swapped, but I will say when I asked about the fries after someone tossed some chicken strips in them, they didn't miss a beat. Fried up a fresh batch for me in a dedicated fryer. Big props for that. Now Il Viaggio. That was a letdown. We checked when we boarded, and the host said they could handle gluten-free no problem. No need to pre-order. But come dinner, it was an entirely different story. The waiter and the chef weren't on the same page. The options were super limited, and for a place with an upcharge, I just can't recommend it if you've got any food allergies. The gluten-free pizza? Still not great. We keep trying, but let's just say we're holding out hope Carnival improves the crust one day.
Now let's explore the nightlife and entertainment here on the Carnival Firenze. If you're into live shows, live music, you just like a good cocktail to relax to, or you want to dance the night away, you'll find it on board.
For comedy fans, the Limelight Lounge is a must. They've got family-friendly sets earlier in the evening and adults-only shows later at night. Trust me, it's worth showing up early to get a good seat.
The theater is the centerpiece for the big productions here. On our cruise, it was Color My World and Dear Future Husband. These shows combine music with dancing and a little bit of storytelling, but they were fun with popular songs you could sing along to. Now, if you're all about live music and cocktails, the bars on Carnival Firenze are where it's at. The Moto Bar and Lounge serves up classic Italian cocktails and martinis, but with some surprising and fashionable twists. Plus, they often have live music to set the mood.
Frizzante is another standout. It's perfect if you love spritz-style drinks. And then there's Rococo, a poolside bar with fruity drinks and Italian-inspired creations. If you're a sports fan, the Hero Tribute Bar is your go-to. Perfect for catching a game with a drink in hand. But if you're looking for a quieter spot, the Amari Bar offers craft cocktails in a more laid-back setting.
If you're looking for a spot to sing along, unwind, and just enjoy some great music with a drink in hand, the Piano Bar is your spot. It fills up quickly and for good reason. It's one of the most popular bars on all the Carnival cruises we've been on. The Atrium Bar is the heart of the ship and right in the center of everything and always buzzing with energy. There's live music throughout the day with rotating musicians, and this is the party hub. So whether you're grabbing a drink or just passing through, it seemed like there was always something happening here. Alright, let's talk about the ups and downs of sailing on the Carnival Firenze. Spoiler alert, there's a lot to like, but a few things to know before you book. Now this was a January sailing, so it will be different from warmer times of the year, but it was the cheapest. First, let's talk about the Italian theming. From the moment you step on board, the vibe is different from your typical Carnival ship. It's lighter, it's airier, even a little playful. Yeah, the faux trees and stone textures aren't fooling anybody, but they give the space character. Piazza del Duomo and the Lido courtyard especially stand out. It's like they took the idea of Italian piazza and made it cruise friendly.
And food-wise, we really didn't have a bad meal the entire cruise. The specialty dining restaurants had the edge in quality, but even the included spots were solid. We liked having some dining options you won't find on other ships.
Our room had a funky sideways layout, which actually worked. It felt more spacious walking into the bed area as opposed to the tight hallway between the closet and bathroom. Outlets were plentiful with a travel adapter. Everything functioned the way it should. The shower had doors. That's a huge win. None of that sticky curtain business.
The entertainment? Honestly, I thought it was really well done. The shows had great music, fun dancing. You could actually follow what was going on for once. Nothing too artsy or over the top, just a good time. And the fun squad? Oh, they keep the energy up with trivia, games, you name it. The ropes course and the WaterWorks looked like they were a big hit too, especially when the weather cooperated.
The crew was amazing. Everyone from the folks cleaning the room to our servers was super friendly and on top of things. We didn't have any real issues, but it was obvious they were ready to help if anything came up.
And listen, for anyone traveling with food allergies, especially gluten, Carnival's doing a lot right. In the main dining room, I could easily pull up a gluten-free menu in the app, and the staff really took great care of me. But Il Viaggio was a little bit of a miss.
Yeah, let's talk about where things fell a little short. The Serenity deck was nice, one of the largest we've seen, but get there early. It's the most crowded one we've seen so far, and finding a lounger wasn't easy. The hot tubs were packed too. No surprise there though, it was chilly out. The Lido pool stayed the quietest, maybe because it's inside. The back pool turned into the sunny day party spot.
Same with the comedy shows and karaoke. The Limelight Lounge was standing room only every night if you didn't get a spot early. The buffet, during peak hours, busy. Be ready to zigzag a bit.
Getting around the ship was mostly easy once you figured it out. Deck 3, where the main dining rooms are, doesn't go all the way through. Remember to head to the back or mid-ship before heading to Deck 3, depending on which restaurant you're heading to. Just something to keep in mind. The signage, not the clearest. Exit sometimes means elevator, and the deck maps are only at the elevators, so you gotta do a little exploring to get your bearings. And the elevators are something we did not love about this cruise. The elevator system, it uses a touchscreen outside the elevator to choose your floor, and the screen will tell you which elevator to go wait for. And there are no buttons inside the cars. You're supposed to repeat this process for every person in your group, so it knows how many riders to expect. But if someone skips this step, or just, jumps in the wrong car, it gets messy. We saw a bunch of confused folks get in the wrong car, with no idea where it's going, and since you can't change it once you're inside, you're stuck riding it out. It got frustrating, especially during busy times. Elevators kept coming and going while we waited for ours, and when it finally arrived, packed. Definitely not the smoothest part of the ship.
I like the Italian theme, but let's get real. It's more like a theme restaurant in Times Square than the streets of Florence. It's fun, don't get me wrong, but you're not getting transported to Tuscany.
So would we sail on Carnival Firenze again? Yes, we would. It's a unique ship in Carnival's fleet with its own personality, and that's what makes it stand out. You've got all the fun and energy Carnival is known for, but wrapped up in this Italian-inspired design that gives it a boutique kind of feel. The layout's a little more compartmentalized, especially around the Lido, so it doesn't feel quite as open or spacious. And yeah, it got crowded. That was probably our biggest gripe. The theming, it wasn't over the top, but it's not Italian luxury either. More like a cruise ship trying to bring Italy to the sea on a budget, which honestly kind of works. It gives the ship a different vibe without losing that laid-back, have a good time feeling you expect from Carnival. So the advertised price for this cruise was $219 per person, which sounds like a steal, and it kind of is. But once you add in the taxes, fees, plus we chose to prepay our gratuities, the total came to $848 for the two of us, all paid before we set sail. And after that, we kept it pretty budget-friendly on board. We averaged about $26 a day each, and that includes our alcoholic drinks, our specialty dining experience, and the wine corkage fee. Now when it comes to value, we were pretty happy. The included food hit the mark, the entertainment had a wide range from high-energy shows to quieter lounges, though sometimes we had to hunt for a spot. If you're a first-timer looking for a fun, upbeat cruise, or someone who's already enjoys Carnival but wants to try something a little different, the ship fits the bill. Families and couples should find plenty to enjoy.
Look, it ain't perfect, but what ship is? The Serenity deck? Forget about it, unless you get there early. And with the layout, some spots got really crowded real fast. But you know what? That's Carnival. It's busy, it's lively, it's a little chaotic, and that's just part of the charm. For folks with dietary needs, I'd say Carnival Firenze can be a good choice, as long as you're comfortable speaking up and asking questions. You know, being proactive. Most of the time, the crew handled things well. Just, you can't assume every restaurant is totally up to speed. We had good food, fun shows, and service that really made us feel taken care of. Would I tell my friends to book it? Yeah, especially if you want something familiar, but with a twist. Thanks for sailing along with us on the Carnival Firenze. If you picked up any helpful tips or just enjoyed the ride, a like really helps out. And if you've got questions about the ship or just cruising in general, drop them in the comments. We love chatting with you.
Thanks for spending time with us. We're so grateful for all the friends we've made here on YouTube. Your support means the world to us. If you're planning a cruise or just dreaming about one, we'd be honored to have you join us on another adventure. Until next time, friends, cheers!